I'm Lady Charmaine, and my guest today is a recording artist who recently toured with Anthony Hamilton and international superstar Estelle. And he is celebrating the release of his debut album entitled Truth of the Matter. Help me welcome Mr. Antoine Dunn to the show. How you doing, Antoine, and welcome to the show.
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm glad to be on the show. How are you?
I'm doing good. I know you just said it's a little cold there in Cleveland, Ohio, but I'm glad you made it to the show. Now,
yeah, I'm like in the studio right now with like a coat on, hoodie, two scarves, like totally freezing, but it's okay.
Now, is it snowing there in Cleveland? Does it snow there?
It does snow. I mean, sometimes we get like the worst winters, but as of late, you kind of never know what you're going to get. Like yesterday, it was like 60 degrees, and I woke up this morning, and it's like 20-something, so I'm just not happy.
Okay. I don't blame you, though. Now, I know, Anthony, you are fresh off a wonderful tour entitled Back to Love with Anthony Hamilton and Estelle. What was that experience like for you to tour with those great artists?
Wow. Wow. Well, I always say, you know, as an artist, you have this long kind of road or long kind of journey where you're like, you know, trudging through the trenches and you know, you're playing like the nightclub scene and you're writing songs in the basement and you're like recording songs on your iPhone or whatever else. You're trying to do everything there is that you can do to break through. And before you know it, you get to a point where you're sharing a stage with someone like Anthony Hamilton or Estelle. It's an experience that's like nothing short of amazing. There kind of are no words to really fully describe it, other than it's kind of surreal. But it's something that you're really appreciative for, and you take it as another blessing and you keep going.
How did that opportunity even come about for you?
Well, I was actually blessed to do the Woo Tour with Anthony Hamilton back in 2011. So that was the first tour that I did with Anthony. And so I wasn't able to have my band on that tour. And I was only able to track, and, you know, all artists, not a lot of artists really like to perform the tracks. Everyone really wants to have their band. So, you know, there were always a lot of jokes like, yo, man, you know, if you let me go out with my band next time, you know, I want to bring the band out next time. And fortunately, when news came back about this tour, Anthony was promoting his new album. Estelle was promoting her new album, and then I would be promoting my debut album as well. So it was, I mean, it was just another opportunity for me to get out there, and I'm so appreciative for Anthony providing that platform for new and up-and-coming artists.
That now, a lot of people really don't get that opportunity, especially to do a big tour like this with Anthony Hamilton and Estelle, and for this to be your breakthrough tour for everyone to get to know who you are. Now, that's what you call blessed. That was nobody but, as we call it, favor from the Lord. And
say that again. I mean, it is. It is.
And you were blessed to release your first debut album entitled Truth of the Matter. Tell us about the album and the inspiration behind it.
Wow. Well, I always try to put my focus on writing songs that are meaningful, if you will. I tend to write very biographically or autobiographically, however you would say it. All I know is that every song on this album is a true story. As a songwriter, I believe that you have to live life before you can have something to write about or something to share with the people of the world. This album is what I like to call the soundtrack to my life thus far. There are a lot of love songs on this record, and then there are just songs that are just about life and about growth, my growth as a young man, and my growth as an artist and just as a person in this world. So when it comes to like really describing the music, that's always a hard thing for me, because I like to believe that I like to keep my music limitless, and I also really like to incorporate a lot of different styles into the music. I like to think that the music actually transcends genres, so it incorporates a lot of different genres.
Now you mentioned you mentioned something about basically where you are in your life right now, and you said there's a lot of love songs. So are you in love right now?
There are always special people.
Oh,
Yeah, there are. I know that's like the politically correct answer, but it's truth. There are always special people. As you know, with being a creative person and being an artist, it can be kind of hard to maintain relationships sometimes. And when I talk about that growth as a young man, a lot of that is really just learning how to manage the dynamic of relationships, personal and business relationships. As things kind of ramp up and you get more busy and you get more exposure, it gets kind of challenging. But to answer your question, there are special people, and a lot of the songs on this album are about special people, if you will.
I love that. There are some special people. So whoever that special young lady is listening, she knows she's one of them. She's Oh, you are so politically correct. You are so ready for the celebrity world. I'm telling you. You got it down. So, who's your publicist? Who's training you with the media? I absolutely love it. I want to know, Antoine, who were your musical influences growing up? Because you have a very soulful voice, and I really love the tone of your voice and the style of your singing.
Wow.
Who were your influences?
You're making me blush. I mean, thank you so much. Wow. When I was younger, my mom, God rest her soul, she would take us on vacation. My mom was from North Carolina, and we would listen to all these old records on the way from Cleveland to North Carolina. Groups like the Dramatics, the Stylistics, the Shy-Lights, Whispers, Gladys Knight, all these people. And at the time, I didn't know that the spirit of that music was becoming embedded within my spirit, and that later on down the line, that would come out within my creative process. I had no idea. But now that I look back over it, I can kind of identify very clearly who the people that I get some of my sound from. And other people would be people like Donny Hathaway and Ray Charles, and more contemporary people like John Mayer, John Legend, Anthony Hamilton, James Morrison, Alicia Keys. I mean, the list goes on and on. Green Day. I mean, Maroon 5.
Wow.
It's just so much. So
you
there you go.
You pick some people that have some unique voices that truly stand out, like when you mentioned John Mayer. You mentioned, of course, Maroon 5, that have like these distinctive sounds, even Anthony Hamilton, and you also mentioned John Legend. And when I think of those individuals, I think their voices are so unique that their voice will be timeless, that in 20 years, when you hear the song, you hear their voice, you know exactly who they are, like Ray Charles. There's no
Absolutely.
other that sound like him. So you picked some really good people. If you had the opportunity to collaborate with any artist, who would it be?
Wow. There are so many people on my list. Male or female, may I ask?
Male and female. Let's just say both.
Okay. Well, ladies first. So I'm gonna have to say Jasmine Sullivan. Because Jasmine Sullivan just has one of those voices, and I remember looking at a performance of hers for, I think it was a teen magazine or something like that on YouTube, and I remember just being taken back by the amount of emotion that she just exudes and that she projects. It was just so believable, and ever since that day, all those gazillion views that's on that YouTube video of I'm in love with another man, they're probably all me. Like, all of them probably. I probably watched that video a gazillion times. So if there was a female artist, it would be her. And then on the male side, wow, this is really tough. I'm gonna have to say, wow. Do y'all have to do this for me today? I mean,
you have to think about it.
If you say yes, I mean, I'll gladly go through with this. I really will. But I just look up to so many musicians, and I have a desire to work with everybody that I can actually.
Okay, give me your top three, because I know sometimes that is difficult. If you were to pick three people, your top three, because today everybody's doing collaborations. So if you had your top three to collab with, who would it be?
Okay, I'm gonna say Anthony Hamilton. I'm gonna say John Legend, and I'm gonna say John Mayer.
Wow. Okay. That's good. And I know it's difficult. So I just said top three because, today so many people are collaborating with so many different people on their projects. I know it's difficult just to wind it down to one. So what do you have coming up in 2013? Any new projects you're working on? Any other tours you're going to be joining in 2013?
Well, as of right now, you know how this business is. There's always something on the table. But whether those things will go through or not, I mean, you kind of never really know. So right now, my focus is really on making sure that the people hear this project via social media and the internet, and then also making sure that we get out on the road and get in these markets and get a chance to show the people in a live format what these songs are like and who I really am as a person and as an artist, which is something that a lot of people haven't been able to see just from hearing two songs on the radio. So one thing is for certain is that people do take a liking to the music, but another thing that is for certain is that I am new, I am fresh, and that the people have to get to know me. So I'm looking for opportunities to get out here in these markets and really get to know the people. So that's where my focus is for this next year.
That is awesome. And so if people wanted to purchase your project, where can they go to purchase your project?
Well, I thought you would never ask. No, I'm totally kidding. But, anybody who has an iPhone obviously could just go on iTunes and they can pick it up. Anyone who doesn't, you can go on Google Music. You can pick up the album Truth of the Matter. You can also pick it up Amazon.com. And if you want a physical copy of the CD, you can actually go out to your local Best Buy. And odds are they'll have it, but if they don't, they can order it for you. And you can have it before Christmas. So this album does make a really good stocking stuffer this Christmas season.
I know that's right. And when you buy one, just pick up two and share one with a friend. Since we are in a giving season and a sharing season, make sure you share a copy with a friend as well. Not a downloaded bootleg copy from your computer. Make sure you purchase make sure you purchase two copies and share that with a friend or a loved one. Antoine, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show, and I definitely wish you the best, and I look forward to seeing great things from you in 2013.
Thank you all so much. And before I get out of here, I just want to make sure that I tell everyone how to stay in contact with me. I always have to spell my name. So my name is Antoine, and my last name is Dunn, and it's spelled Dunn. So everyone can follow me on Twitter at Antoine Dunn, Facebook.com/Antoine Dunn, and my official.com, www.AntoineDunn.com. And when all those spells, just go to Google and type in Antoine Dunn. You don't know what you're going to get. So thank you guys again so much.
I know that's right. Just tell them, just Google me. You'll find me. I'm all over Google. So I know that's right. So I look forward to having you back on the show, Antoine, and definitely have a great day.
You too. I'm going to try to stay warm.
I know that's right.